Welcome to the Lee Michaels Show with Carol and your daily cast of characters, where we discuss the issues of the day, entertainment news, what's really going on in Washington, and the world. Why don't we just hear it from the horse's mouth himself?
We can't have someone in the Oval Office who doesn't understand the meaning of the word confidential or classified. I don't think it's safe to be briefed on national security because the word will get out. I know at some point they're going to want to brief me, but I'm not a talker about this stuff. This is like Watergate, only it's worse. Because here, our foreign enemies were in a position to hack our most sensitive national security secrets.
Thanks
of
to
course,
you.
It turns out the Russians didn't need to hack Hillary's email server. They were able to hack Trump's mouth.
This is like Watergate.
But
only
worse.
It's worse.
Yes, you're right about that.
The Lee Michaels Show on the Power of Voices Radio Network.
You know, that man is only right about one thing. This is worse than Watergate. Plain and simple. And I don't understand it. How this crackhead is still in the office. Somebody get him out of there right now. Not sooner than right now. That's what we need. We need to clean up this mess that the uninformed Americans have made. It's time for a change. America was great before he even walked into the office. But now it's looking like Boo-Boo the Fool. Thank you and welcome to the Lee Michaels Show. I'm going to try to keep my commentary a little short today because y'all already know. And these damn members of Congress, the Senate, y'all looking real bad. I mean, extraordinary bad. And I've been saying it for, 8 years? How long will it take for you to come up with a better plan for our health care? And we just saw another attempt. What is it, third or fourth attempt of trying to repeal and replace? They couldn't replace it, so now they're going to move to the atomic bomb. You dropped the bomb on me, baby, and just repeal it. So they buy another 2 years to get it right. That's unacceptable. Now, if any of you who are listening to this show right now were charged with the responsibility of coming up with a good idea and it took you 8 years, not 8, not 9, but maybe 10 years to come up with something, how long would you have that job? You wouldn't still be around. So my recommendation is all of these, especially the Republicans, but I blame some of the Democrats as well. It's time for a new face, a new look, a new sound, a new attitude in the Senate and the House. November 6, 2018. Let's replace these members of Congress that have been standing up, doing nothing. The entire administration of President Barack Obama, from day one, they said, we're not going to work with this guy. In fact, we're going to make sure that he's a one-term president. You failed on that. Mitch McConnell, you should just go back to Kentucky, crawl into a frickin' barn filled with horse shit. You can throw some cow shit in there if you want, and just stay there. Because you are a miserable failure. You and the rest of your cronies. You should not be leading a circus, a parade, nothing. You can't get the job done. You can't come up with a better plan. Why? Because you are a hoe. You've been pimped out by the insurance companies, the pharmaceuticals, the hospitals, the doctors, and everybody in that vein. They own you. and all your little cronies. Every one of those members that didn't stand up against this miserable, miserable idea, y'all need to go. And I commend the 4 Republicans that voiced their opposition to it. They said, hey, no, I'm not down with this. And some of their reasons was kind of whack, but at least they stopped it. And I'm interested in what Senator McCain would say right about now. He tends to be a little moderate at times. Sometimes he gets way out there on the edge as well. But I'm just curious. All right, let me welcome my main. And that's M-A-I-N or M-A-N-N-N-N-N. Which
yeah,
one?
I go the latter.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. Hailing from Chicago, give it up for Chris Bass.
Boom shakalaka. How you doing, man? Good morning, Lee.
I'm fired up, lit, and ready to go.
Yeah, I see. And let me just ducktail what you just said about the GOP and the liberals, quote unquote, whatever. These code names get on my nerve nowadays. When you talk about, once again, everybody at one point being anti-Obama. All right, that's your platform. I disagree with it, of course. Mm-hmm. But it was what it was. This whole thing about the Affordable Health Care Act. Like you said, okay, if you have an alternative plan or another base of operation to do it differently, okay, let's see it. You might be onto something.
Right.
But just to be pro-anti, quote unquote, Obama because of who he was and what he stood for, and not have a backup plan is insulting.
It is.
Because everything was just against the man, like you said before, from day one. We're not going to work with him. Representative Joe Wilson that time, you lie. He'll be a one-term president, all type of, all this rhetoric of negativity, but yet there was no type of alternative plan coming from the right. They just kept bashing for the 2 terms he was in office. So now you can't blame him anymore. I mean, the man's gone. He's gone fishing. He got a nice tan, being in Hawaii, wherever he went to, relaxing himself. He looks great, by the way. You see him online.
Yeah.
But, okay, now what's the plan?
They don't have one.
What is it? You have nothing.
Yeah, the plan that they've come up with is not workable. It's slanted so far away from the people who need the health care. And then, where's my pad here? What did they call this last version of it? It was something really stupid. Why don't they just call it what it is? Repeal and replace Trump care. Mm-hmm. They were quick to nickname the Affordable Health Care Act Obamacare.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Nobody wants to put their name on this bullshit. Oh, no.
Right.
No. This is McConnell Care. And with a Trump endorsement. Let's call it what it is. It is what it is. It's a miserable failure. And what is this, the 3rd version or the 4th version?
I think the 3rd or 4th. The 3 GOP senators come forward and said, look, we're not going to sign off on this thing.
Well, smart. Now, I was hoping that somebody had the kahunas to stand up and say no to a bad idea. I see, but the root of this problem for me is real simple. How much more time do you need, all you brainiacs, all you lawyers and doctors and Indian chiefs, whatever you are, wherever you came from, you need to go back because you have failed at this job. How much more time do you expect the American people to give you to get it right, to make it better? All you had to do is come in and take out all the bullshit that you put in. That's all you had to do.
That's right.
The ticking time bomb. After the first 2 years, the insurance companies had the ability to raise the rates to whatever they want. You gave them the ability to pull out because they don't like the deal. Fix that. Okay, take away the tax penalty against the people who don't buy the insurance. Take that out. But take out that ability to raise the rates to whatever the insurance companies want. And even if the government has to subsidize some of it, so be it. Figure it out. I bet you we could put together 50 people that are not politicians could come up with a better idea than what these clowns did. 50 people,
I agree.
Just with common sense. This is not rocket science. You don't have to have a degree in economics to figure this out. It's not hard. What makes sense? Let's deal with common sense first. And if common sense don't get you the way you want to go, then okay, let's get some brainiacs in here to say, well, no, you can't do that because if you do that, this is going to trigger that. Okay, fine.
You know, we hear the term embedded a lot nowadays, and this is what's going on in government. Everybody literally is in bed with somebody else. So, once again, if I'm going to out you, I got to out myself.
Yeah.
And we can't have that. That's why, me personally, I just think that is the delay than anything else. So many names, so many people have to come forward that it's like, well, it wasn't just me, it was her too and him.
Yeah.
And everybody got somebody they're connected with, and they all connected together. So it's like, if you're a fan of Three Stooges, if you caught some of their military work when they were still calling the quote-unquote military, all right, I need one brave man to step forward. So say it was Mo, Larry, and Curly.
Right.
Mo and Larry step back, and there's Curly by himself. Congratulations, young man. You're a part of the service. See, nobody is setting up somebody else.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah.
Skullduggery and trickery.
Exactly.
You know? Well, folks, how much more do you need to see? What else do they have to do to you for you to feel the pain and to realize that these guys don't deserve to be in Congress? They don't. They just do not deserve the job. And the sooner you guys get to that space, the better it's going to be. We need some common sense thinkers in the House and the Senate.
Even if you were, I'm sorry, but real quick, even if you were selfish and thought about yourself, you're a congressman, a senator, or, anything, and say you're a senator, and it's all about you. Your constituencies, meaning your main people who voted you into office, I would take a guess that some are on some form of welfare. Let's go with medical care. Do you think that you want to risk your job that you care for so much and get kickbacks and money and anything else because they're going to vote you out of office or not go get your vote? If you were selfish, you would do that just on selfish principles alone to keep your job. Because people, like you said, now the dates try to etch in people's minds, November 6th, 2018, November 6th, on that date in 2018, people are going to speak out. They don't want you in office anymore. They're not going to they're going to hold your feet to the fire. They're doing it now.
Right.
So, if that doesn't give you a clarion call that you may be out of a cushy job, I don't know what else can get into their mindsets.
Well, now, did I see a blurb? I woke up at about 3:30 this morning, 4 o'clock, and I saw a headline, and then I hit something, and it went away. But did I see something that they identified the 8th person in this meeting? Did I see that, or am I dreaming?
I must have missed that one if it came through.
Let's see here. Trump is saying just repeal Obamacare after the bill collapsed. That's a headline from MSNBC. And as we've been talking about, the GOP healthcare bill collapsed in the Senate overnight. No shit. It crashed and burned.
Right. Yeah, a person at Trump Tower meeting has now been identified.
Has been identified?
Yeah.
Who that be? Who it is?
Trying to see. It's looks like a Russian name, like Antonov. I got to get the exact pronunciation of it, but it looks like somebody's Russian.
Another criminal in the room. They must have all been really comfortable. American and foreign criminals hanging out together. make cutting deals. I want to know what other deals did they cut. If they didn't do anything about adoption, if they didn't get the information on Hillary, how long was the meeting? Do we know that yet?
Not the reports I have. They don't talk about how long it was. Just the meeting at Trump Tower, and now the people at the meeting are being brought forward.
Right. I want to know how long has this been going on. I want to know how long the meeting was. If it was 10, 15 minutes, then okay. But after you say your hellos and your handshaking and blah, 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 and tell a couple of jokes, and then you get to the meat and potatoes, if you find out ain't nothing happening and this is a unnecessary meeting, you bust a move. But if we find out that this was an hour long, 90 minutes long, what the hell y'all been talking about all that time? Okay? That's what I want to know. Let's see here. Polls. Trump historically unpopular just 6 months into his term. No shit. No shit. I mean, if he goes in the lower, we're going to have to send a submarine to get him back. How low can you go?
Mighty low.
Here's another headline on MSNBC. No, America. Tropical storm Don is not named after the president. Well, if it fizzles out, it probably is worthy of putting Donald Trump's name on it, because that's what he's doing. He's like a, well, I won't take the show to that level this morning. Not yet. Maybe after 11.
Okay, cool.
It's like a bad date. Okay.
Oh, there you go.
Unbelievable. So it was a third Russian. So it was 3 Americans and 3 Russians. No, that's 6, but it was 8 people, they said. Right? And the interpreter. Okay, the interpreter, the lawyer, now a third Russian. There are 3, Mo, Larry, and Curly. And then I thought it was saying it was 8. There was another person or 2 that came into the room. Let's see here. If you guys don't watch MSNBC often, you want to check out Rachel Maddow. She is the real deal.
Oh, yeah, she is.
Yeah. She is her show is highly researched. Okay? She spends hours and hours a day putting together information to talk about. She's got a great research team, and her credibility level is very high. I don't ever remember her making a retraction, saying, I stand to be corrected, unless she's being silly about it. I said yesterday that it was 10 people. Well, I was wrong. It was 12. Okay, stuff like that. But usually she's spot on. Spot on, because she does her due diligence. She digs deep. She's got great contacts. And, she's to be trusted, I think. That's my
I concur, opinion. Absolutely.
Yeah, she rocks it. So here we are, folks. Now they're saying we're just going to repeal this thing. We're just going to, just kill it. So what do we do in the meantime? And then in 2 years, they need another 2 years to replace it. Well, in 2 years, bro, y'all ain't going to be there. That's what I predict. If the American voters wake up and smell the coffee, which I haven't had any today, if you wake up and smell the coffee, you'll realize that this administration and this Congress, the complete control by the Republican Party over all 3 branches of our government, and they're trying to destroy the media. They have sold the media to foreign governments or foreign investors. I'm going to repeat this often, because every time I tell someone, when I'm talking to people face to face, they don't know about it. 30 days into the Trump administration, his new FCC panel decided to give 100% ownership to foreign investors. So if somebody from China or the Middle East or Canada or Mexico, anywhere, as long as they're not on our hot list of people we don't do business with, they can buy 100% of all of the radio and television stations and probably cable as well. What kind of sense does that make? What else are we going to give away that's supposed to be for red-blooded Americans?
Is it because the country is broke?
Well, it's not so much that the country is broke. It's just all these criminal American owners have worked every bank and investment company to the max. There's no money, no place to go to get new money. When you got companies like iHeartMedia, a.k.a. iHeartRadio, that you guys have downloaded this app onto your phone and supported these guys, they don't give a damn about you. They're giving you all this bad programming. They are in $21 billion of debt. Bank of America, Chase, and all the other big banks in America are already in the deal. And these guys are not in the position to pay the debt back. They're in the red. They're not making money. They look big, they look successful, but they're losing money. At the same time, the guys up there in the corporate chairs, sitting around the fat desk, sitting in the big conference room, making bad decisions, giving themselves bonuses. That's criminal. But at the same time, the people who are out there on the front line, the radio personalities, the promotion departments, the salespeople, the managers, the sales managers, the receptionists, the engineers, every department in these radio stations that they own are anemic. They have filed it down, cut it down to bare bones, and they're wondering why the stations are not successful. It takes people. People, damn it, not computers. Not computers alone. Computers are tools. Computers don't come up with good ideas. They implement your ideas. But when you cut out all the creativity, the people that know and understand and are successful at broadcasting, the body will eventually die, and that's what's happening. So they're hoping that maybe some garbage money can be filtered out of the Russia or China or wherever, launder some money out of these countries that are just totally corrupt, put another face on that money, and come in and buy up the debt. Folks, that's not right. I've been in this business since 1965, and it has, after one administration after the other, they have completely destroyed the broadcast business as we knew it. It is no longer licensed to serve the community. That phrase is kind of still there, but they never told you if you don't like what you hear on your favorite radio station in whatever city you live in, that you have the ability to complain to the Federal Communications Commission and say, we don't like the fact that I don't hear news at the top and the bottom of the hour. I don't like the fact that they took away all the public service announcements. I don't like the fact that that Sunday morning show at 6, 7, 8 a.m. is no longer there. They don't have to do any of that anymore. It doesn't matter. They have watered it down to making it easy for themselves, and they've excluded you, the public, out of it. You don't know what the hell you can or cannot say or do. My friends all the time ask me, Lee, why don't you go back out and program another station or manage a station or go to one of these major groups and help them, transition, make it better? No, I have no desire to do that because they will not listen. And I don't want to waste the rest of my life trying to convince idiots to do the right thing. I'm appalled.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
That they can sit there and take your job, fire you, send you home, and you've been there for 10, 15, sometimes 20 years or more, doing a good job, great ratings, no complaints against you, but they don't need you no more because they're paying you $100,000 a year, and they can get a chump in there that'll follow their bad directions for $50,000, and then give that chump another $10,000 to voice track another 10 stations. So you do your live show every day, or you can track it. They don't care. They don't care to be creative and engage your audience. They've made it easy for themselves and for the few air personalities that are on the air. Even some of your syndicated shows. You're sitting there listening to your favorite syndicated show in the morning or afternoon or whenever it is. But many times the last hour and sometimes the last 2 hours is pre-recorded. So if the world came to an end, I guess it doesn't matter. But if something major, news breaking, there's no news person sitting in the newsroom watching the news flow. They don't exist anymore. The few news people that still exist, it's morning, 6 a.m. to 10 only. Outside of that room is empty. There's nobody home. And if something catastrophic were to happen, either that person would have to run back to the radio station to try to cover it, or an inexperienced air personality will go on the air and make a fool of himself because they don't know how to be a journalist. That's sad. That is real sad.
And you're right, and it's beyond sad because you're dealing with people who do not, as you said before earlier, do not want to do the right thing. And they rather go on lies or backdoor their way in or cheapen the whole product because they have no respect for the art. Because what we do is the art. I don't give a damn what people say. Radio is an art form. What we do is by training, by passion, by learning, and one day, you become good or dare I say great at it. And I don't like people who just backdoor. I'll give you a perfect example. People listening. The man that you're listening to aside from me, Mr. Lee Michaels, I consulted this man when I became operations manager of an internet radio station. And during this time, everything was going fine. Until my immediate boss, I believe, got jealous and put the clamps on me. Because the station was doing fine. We were trying to grow, trying to make things different, things like that. And because I believe it's just basic damn jealousy. People coming to the station, knowing of me, knowing who I was, and to me it was like old home time, people I'd not seen in years. And then when all of a sudden, well, we're going to handcuff you because you can't do radio and I can, you can't because you have no idea what radio is. None. And it's more than insulting, it's just an idiotic boob move because you're trying to reinvent yourself because you've been denied as your so-called talent of being a singer.
Right.
So all of a sudden you want to read a couple of internet articles and all of a sudden you're an expert.
It's that easy.
It was that easy, right. Go tell me about radio, which like you, I've been in it over 20 years myself. So I'm like, come on, now don't do this.
Yeah.
And that was the main reason why I left, because I got to a point where, you know what, if you can do it better than me, please do. And it's a damn shame when people, at the risk of saying, I'm the one that failed, but I'm going to reinvent myself because I failed this particular, profession. All of a sudden I'm a radio programmer and you're not. So for one thing, you need to be in an insane asylum. You're creating an alternative universe. But like I said, in this business, look, I would rather have it happen to me in our industry, not for some, jackleg person who all of a sudden will be a program director because she can't sing. At least in our business, as people that had experience in our field and things like that, it still sucks and swallows, but still, it's just idiotic to me when you run into people like that who just do not give two damns. It's very sad.
No, and they should not be near anything that has any real substance, whether it's a radio station, TV station, or any kind of job, people who tend to get these jobs now, they have an IQ 2 points below plant life, dumb as a rock, have no experience, and they come into the business for the wrong reason. Just to kind of, I'm going to do a Carol here and change the topic real quick.
Oh.
But I'm looking at a headline here. Says 3 GOP senators say no to repeal-only plan, effectively killing it. Oh, my goodness. See, listen, the reason that these things are happening is because there's at least 3 or 4 people in the Senate or the Republican side that says, this makes no sense. Why are we doing this? Let's get it right. Let's do the right thing for the people. At least I hope that's
right.
their agenda. It could be that maybe they don't think it's harsh enough. Maybe they got a little more money than some of the rest from the insurance companies or whoever, the big pharma guys.
Right.
So we don't know exactly what their agenda is, but we'll find out. Trump says, let Obamacare fail. I'm not going to own it. Well, you got to own something, shithead, or get out of the seat. Man up. You ran hard and mean and nasty out there on the trail. You won it. What are you going to own? Do you have one idea in that orange makeup? Do you have one thing of substance that you're going to put your name on? Wake up, people.
Yeah, you have to.
Trump
no
says,
substance.
I'm very disappointed with the bill failure. Well, you know, did you sit down with your senators and say, hey, look, guys, let's cut the crap? He needed to pull a Lyndon Baines Johnson. I understand that there's a story that he was in the men's room taking a crapper. He invited a couple of guys who didn't want to walk and talk with him. He made them come and smell the crap. He was taking a shit, and he made them come in the men's room, and he convinced them. Oh, okay, President Johnson. Okay, whatever. Can I leave now? I'll vote for it. Okay, whatever it takes.
He must have made sure he had beans that day.
Oh
man.
my goodness! Can you imagine that?
Oh my God. I'll do whatever you say. The hairs in my nostrils are just left me.
I got to go. Let me out of here, please, sir. 2 GOP senators say there isn't enough support for repeal only. Okay, then come up with a better plan. Y'all need to get to work,
That's it,
and I mean right now.
They have none. They have none whatsoever.
How do we let these guys keep their jobs? Hey, listen,
But
I'm at this point, Chris. Real simple. I'm at the point now where I'm not mad at the senators. I'm mad at us. And until we get mad and change it, then we have to accept what these dummies are doing. They got us by the short ones, and we're letting it happen. We'll say, oh, yeah, pull on it again. Oh, yeah, that feels real bad, but I love it. That's what we're doing.
Ooh, don't that feel good?
You're used to pain now.
Yeah. Yes, sir, may I have another? Yeah, you're getting your gas spanked.
Yeah, exactly. How much more will you take?
Yep, S&M.
November
Sam,
6th.
S&M.
November 6, 2018, you can make it all different. All you have to do is man up, woman up, 18 up, register to vote, and go vote. And don't let them pull that provisional ballot on you. At least 30 days beforehand, make sure that you are registered, Call them every damn day. Wear them out. Make them nuts down at the Secretary of State's office. Call every damn day. I'm calling to verify to make sure that I am, in fact, registered to vote. Okay, what's your name? You give them your name and whatever they ask for, and you verify. And record the damn phone call.
Mm-hmm.
And then let's see how many times they reject people that have been verified 5, 10, 15 times. See, that's how you bust up corruption. You said at 9:15 on Monday, June 22nd, the 2018 or whatever, that I was registered, and I have the phone call to verify that. Well, I'm sorry, Mr. Michaels. There must have been a mistake. Yeah, the mistake is you guys are corrupt. Give me my damn ballot now, though. Don't want a provisional, because you'll keep that in the back room somewhere, and it won't get counted. Don't let them hoodwink you. Don't do it. Stand up. You have the right to vote. And if they prevent you from doing it, raise hell. That's what I say. Raise holy hell. I would stand up in the middle of the room and say, ain't nobody going to vote in here today until I get my ballot. Now, I'm stopping it.
Right.
The voting has stopped right now. They might call the police on you, but at least you'll go down in history of saying, I'm trying to do the right thing, and you're trying to prevent me from exercising my American right to vote.
Right.
I'm not a felon. I've registered. Here's my voter registration card, and you're going to tell me you don't have me on the list? Well, is your name on the list?
Mm-hmm.
Then my name need to be on that list right now.
And please, let me reiterate the following. To the White House and to the press secretary of Sean Spicer. Just because... Is
he still working?
Yeah, he takes these days off, I think, for his medication. I don't know. He takes a lot of days off for me, but... Because I know his nerves are bothering him. But
I'm sure it ought to be.
Oh, my God. So, just because it's all audio... You still sound stupid. See, that's what amazes me because, okay, we cut the video off the part so that way he won't look stupid.
Right.
But you still sound stupid. The message is still going through and you still don't make any sense.
Well, see, if I had the time, I would take the audio and put video figures up there to emulate what they're saying. See, don't get me going. Don't get me going because I'll do it.
Oh, help. Yeah,
exactly.
You have to be aware of your surroundings. And I was going to read this article. I got it here. And it ducktails what you said earlier about being mad at us and not really the senators and people that are in office. There's an article that deals with you can't be mad at Trump, but it deals with the fact that what about his voter base? What about those people? How did he appeal to a certain amount of mindset? Well, we all know, but just the breakdown of it is interesting because some of these people who subscribe to what Trump is doing, they're also on welfare or some form of, assistance from the government. And yet you were anti-Obama, but you did well under Obama administration during that time. And now the man that you voted for getting you into office is going to take away your medical rights, your medical benefits.
Yep. Did you guys see this? I did a post. Jesse T talked about it yesterday on his show. And we posted it on my Facebook page. If you scroll down below the 45 videos of today's show, you'll see one that says, North Korea hasn't gone to war in 60 years, but look at all the medals of their generals are wearing.
Where do you get those from?
And they all look the same.
Right.
So one of them is for cutting the grass. The other one is for kissing ass. But the other one's for bending down to the mental midget. I mean, come on, look at it. This looks like a circus. You got all these generals standing up here on the line, with these, some of them even going down to their pants leg. What do you got medals for?
Oh, that's sad.
Butt kissing. That's so retarded looking.
Butt kissing.
Oh my God. And then it goes on and says, we could defeat them with a magnet. Really? See, but I believe that one Tomahawk missile to the head of the mental midget and all these little chump guys with the badges on, they'd run to the hills.
Could you imagine that ceremony, that medal ceremony? All right, Rear Admiral Kong Chong, please take this medal on your behalf of the government, and you are doing a nice ass kissing.
So you got good lips.
As a matter of fact, when the service over with,
we got some more medals for you.
Some more. Yeah.
Unbelievable. Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy.
I don't know, man.
I know. The world is screwed up. It totally
Very
is.
much so.
And I hate to say, but a lot of it is coming from the United States of America. We're egging on other idiots. And we just need to stop. We need to hold our heads up and be red-blooded, proud Americans and doing the right thing first and foremost for its people. If you don't help me, how am I going to help you? If you don't care about me and the people of the United States of America, and then you go around and spend billions of dollars to aid other countries, that's kind of hypocritical. And when there's 60,000 homeless people on the streets of Los Angeles, not in the country, in one city, that's not counting the suburbs around Los Angeles. That's sad. There should not be one homeless, one person, one child go to bed hungry in this country. We throw away food every freaking day.
All the time, yeah.
Restaurants, hotels. If they don't throw it away, it's going out the back doors, being stolen by the employees because they're hungry and they're not paid well. You want to curtail crime and thieves and all of that? Let's do the right thing. Let's make things better in this country. Let's increase the minimum wage. Let's make sure that every American has a job or at least have access to a job. Let's make sure that everybody's trained up, educated well. Let's make education affordable. State-run schools that are receiving funds from the federal government, there should be no question. It needs to be affordable. There's some good, hard-working people that come from junior colleges and state-owned schools and what have you. There are these private schools that are, quote, nonprofit organizations, of Yales and all these big schools. Yeah, we're not going to stop that, and we shouldn't. If you can afford to go to Yale or Harvard or, some of these schools that cost $100,000 a year, God bless you. Go. Go. Have at it.
Ivy League.
But
time.
Everybody can't afford that. And then we should not strap our young people with student loans of $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 after they graduate. What the hell are they supposed to do? Can you guarantee them that they're going to get a job for $150,000 or $200,000? Or $250,000 when they come out with a $400,000 loan? In other words, you are going to educate our children, strap them, put them in debt, or their parents, or combination thereof. So in other words, you're going to go to school and earn a mortgage. You won't be able to buy a house when you get out of school, even if you're lucky enough to get a decent job, because you got to pay that student loan back. Even at low interest rates, it's a bill. It's something you got to face every month for 20 or 30 years. maybe that loan will still be around when you're dead.
Yeah. But as you know, it's a setup. I mean, it's a big time setup, and they get you by the short and curlies, especially like in my situation, I got out of it. But when I was in college, for example, the credit card companies were mad. Mm-hmm. I mean, they were all over the place, man. I remember, your fellow, your guys and gals, hey, go to the Wabash campus, the guy, credit card fill out. So I was like, and I know this one dude, man. This one dude went in and messed around and got like a used car. Now they call them pre-driven, but back in the day they call them used cars.
Right.
So he got a used car. I'm like, dude, how'd you get a car? It was used to a place called Midlothian called Bob Watson Chevrolet. Mm-hmm. And I knew if he got a car, because every time I went with him, his credit card was always denied. I'm like, these dudes stayed broke.
Yeah.
So I said, if they gave you a credit card, man, at least get something. So I went, applied for a MasterCard, and the average they were giving away was $500 credit. I was $1,000 credit. And I'm like a sophomore.
Cool.
Oh, shoot, a sophomore in college?
Yeah.
Man, I went to that car like crap goes through a goose, man. He couldn't tell me nothing, man.
Now you're in debt.
And now I'm in debt, right?
Yeah.
Like we all were. Yep.
Yeah, my son got a card at 17. He kind of fudged his age a little bit. And when I found out he had a credit card, I called the credit card company. I said, listen, this is his daddy. My son is not 18 yet. Now, I don't mind y'all giving him the card when he gets to be 18. But this one, I'm cutting up, and you need to delete this account. Period. End. He was mad. He was upset. But listen, you don't need to get in debt when you're a child.
No, you don't.
It starts your life off upside down.
There you go.
Yeah, everybody wants to have their own little financial independence and be able to go somewhere and buy something. It makes you feel good. Throw that piece of plastic on the table and say, hit it. That makes you feel good. And we have trained our young people and the advertising that they are watching on radio and television and social media. It tells them, hey, you got to have this, man.
That's right.
You're not a human unless you have one of these cards. You got to go out and floss it up. Go hang out at the club. Go buy you some $100 jeans and all that kind of stuff. Listen, I don't
give
buy
it the program.
I don't buy $100 jeans or $200, $300 jeans. You know what? I buy $40 jeans or less. They might be $100 jeans, but I'll go off to the stores that have them on reduced prices. TJ Maxx or wherever.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not paying $100 for some damn blue jeans. I don't give a damn whose name is on it. Take the name off. In fact, I don't want your name on the jeans that I'm wearing. I'm not into that designer crap. It doesn't make me a better man. Doesn't make me a better person. I just want to cover my little skinny ass legs. That's all. That's the purpose.
That's it. That's all. Right?
That's it. I'm not trying to impress you. Accept me for who I am, what I do, and what I can do for you and what you can do for me. That's it. All that other stuff. Look. And I've heard people say, oh, Lee, you look pretty good when you clean up. Well, I'm the same guy. Because I got a damn suit on now. I'm different. I look better to you? Really?
Yeah.
I'm the same guy.
I was back at UBM, so some of the young cats were walking around there, so I had some jeans with some ripped around the kneecaps. Mm-hmm. I was like, oh, babes, man, where you get those jeans from, man? I got them online. How much you pay for them, man? About $40. $40 on ripped jeans? You don't understand. Man. These were not ripped when I got them. I wore them out, man.
These are custom. Real-time custom. Yeah.
Right. This is how we did it back in the day, man.
Yeah, man. I go buy some damn Wranglers, some Lee jeans.
Right.
And get yourself a razor blade and slice them up if you want to have your kneecaps hanging out and all that stuff. That one I don't get either. Call me an old fuddy-duddy, but look, you got some ragged-ass jeans on, dude.
Right.
And then the jeans are too tight. You got 4 or 5 holes in the legs, and and now the jeans are so tight, your skin is bulging out of the holes. Come on, man.
Yeah, that's like a second skin, literally.
What are you doing?
I
Unbelievable.
don't know, try to cut off circulation. I don't know.
That's what it looks like. Unbelievable.
Right.
Don't get me going. Don't get me going.
You know, yeah, well, you know, you just sit back, like I said before, you know, youth is always in, you know, the state of mind and who you are, no matter how old you get.
Right.
But there are days, man, I just sit back. I like an OM2. Like I just the old man moments. And I just go along. I said, man, I'm just old, dog.
Embrace it, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
But see, I'm proud of being 67 years old. I'm proud of it. A lot of my friends, like I was saying, you know, yesterday when I was hanging out with my buddy T-Bone, a lot of cats ain't around. They didn't make it to see 65 or 66 or 67. A lot of those cats dying at 50. And I'm going, man, that's crazy. I can't imagine all those cats that were healthy and athletes and, you know, track stars and basketball and football and all that. Man, I didn't play nothing. Okay? I just went to school. And they're all gone, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's deep. But it's you know, it's life.
It is. And we have to come to that realization and understand that life you have no control over. You can do the best you can while you're here, make the best of it. Take care of yourself, your family, and be nice to your friends and neighbors. And that's about it, man. Just be a good human being.
Yeah. My dad used to say, man, you know, we should cry when they come into the world and laugh when they leave the world. We should celebrate their life while, you know, in retrospective, yeah.
Right. That's not a bad idea. I like that.
Yeah, celebrate the life, man.
Yeah, I agree. There's a couple people I want to see cry like hell when I'm dead.
What, your ex-wives?
Not just them, but...
Not just them. All right, okay, name the list.
No, I'm not going to do that.
You know, okay, at least name one.
You know what? I don't really hate anybody. I'm just being funny.
You hate somebody. You ain't fooling nobody, man.
Listen, I found out yesterday that I bought a book on air, and Paul Porter wrote this book called, what is it, Blackout?
Right. Yes, you did. He did on air yesterday.
And then he found out I bought the book because I went to his webpage to buy it. I didn't buy it from Amazon. I could have gotten free shipping from Amazon, but I bought it directly from him. And he went on my Facebook and he posted that, you know, he was kind of apologizing that he was kind of hard on me because he didn't like consultants back in those days. And I consulted Magic 102 when we launched that station. He was the PD. And I never knew that he didn't care for what I was trying to teach him and help him and make the station successful. So he says he's grown up now and, you know, he looks at life a little differently. But evidently he says he was not very kind to me in his book. And I didn't know I was in the book. So, Paul, it's all good, bro. I ain't mad at you. And you were at a point in time in your life when you didn't really understand what was going on. And we all have been through that time frame or that moment when we didn't understand. But as we grow and mature, it's all good. And you can say anything you want about me. I don't care. It doesn't hurt me because I know who I am. I know what I've done in my life and the people that I've assisted, helped, mentored, you know, if it's no more than giving a recommendation when someone calls and says, hey, man, how was this guy when you work with him? I don't think I've ever given anybody a bad recommendation because I think most people are smart enough to know that you were not a good employee, that you wouldn't put somebody's name down that would give you a bad recommendation. So, but even if you were 50% squirrely, I still would give you a good recommendation. You have to be a real jackrabbit for me to say something bad about you.
Right.
Yeah, there's a couple people that kind of did me wrong in the industry, but that's okay. you know, and they wake up in the morning and stand on a step stool and look in the mirror, then I guess they're okay.
Let's see. Step stool.
Shut
that
up.
means they're short.
Alfo just joined us. What's up, Alfo?
Oh, great segue, sir.
Well, hello, Lee. Hello, Chris.
Hey,
Hello, Alfo.
what's up, Alfo?
And hello, other Carol.
Yeah, well, she hasn't come in yet, but I expect that she will make an appearance at some
but
point.
the other Carol is here. She'll make herself available.
Yeah.
Pretty soon. First of all, I heard the thing about the step stool and your basically innocent reference to it until Mr. Shoot Them Down from a Sniper's low-life position, Chris Bass, fired one from the dark.
That was a tomahawk
he
missile to
caught
the
that.
head, I think. Yeah, he did.
You'll have I would have to call it the best I can, a sinister sense of humor. Mm-hmm. Let alone the...
Well, yeah, we got to have a little bit of that in there. You know, it just makes it fun.
both of you going in gasoline draws, okay?
Well, that's all right. I've
Other than
always
that,
been hot.
gentlemen,
See, there's
other than
nothing
that,
you can say to bring me down. I got something for you.
allow me to add some names to the bucket list that... not the bucket list, the hate list
Okay.
that you simply refuse to...
Well,
Put
how
out
you
there,
gonna put a list together of people that I don't like?
Well, I've known you and this is honest goodness truth. I've known you what?
Since 2008?
Yeah, 8-9 years now. I've never met him face to face.
That's right.
Same with you, Chris.
And you guys in the same
But
city.
Yeah, and I don't understand how I keep missing Chris. I go to all of the low parts of the under the bridge.
You got to go a little bit lower. In fact, what I'll do is get a submarine over there in
A
Lake
lot
Michigan.
lower.
And we'll take you down to the levels where you might find
I go
the
to Lower
basement.
Wacker Drive and the sorted homeless centers around the city.
You still
And I
can't
never
find
run into Chris. I'm looking.
I'm lower than that.
Well, if you can play handball against the curb, I must go there. Okay?
That's funny.
I'm not short.
Yo, you're not short, huh?
No.
What's your nickname, Mr. 5x5?
Here's another
Slowly I turn.
here's another fat man trying to make fun of another fat man.
No.
That's not right, man. Come on.
You got to understand. This is like I always tell them. When everybody puts on that feigned indignation, he called me fat? I say, my first response is, I didn't say I wasn't.
You got to own up to it.
Yeah, I cop to what I am.
I feel you.
I cop to what I am.
Yeah,
Man.
listen. I've had so many things thrown at me growing up. I was a skinny kid. They thought I had worms. They had the doctors check me out. I didn't have no damn worms.
Jesus.
I was a skinny kid, man. When I tried to join the Navy, they sent me home and said, man, you got to go home and put about 12 pounds on before you can get up in here. Shit, man. I went home and lost another 10. Vietnam, I was losing buddies left and right. So, yeah, I was the
Great move.
I was the
Great
stick
move.
man. You draw the stick man figure on a piece of paper, that was me.
See there.
Yep. My kneecaps was bigger than my butt.
Vietnam was not the place.
No, it was not. It was not a fun thing, man. I lost about
and
12
by you-
buddies in my neighborhood.
Yeah, and by you being significantly older than myself,
Oh, please. Here we go, folks.
then I was able to linger around the memorials and funeral homes and gather up the recent widows and recent.
Oh, you dirty. You a low life, man.
I'm telling you know what?
You
Alpha,
praying
no,
on
he's
the you praying on the brokenhearted.
Yeah,
He's really. You got some zingers coming now. You must have had a cheeseburger with a side of formaldehyde.
Yeah, well, that's
Really?
like me. That's like me when I was going with this young lady, and she's a church goer. She's a
Is
highly
it Democrat or
religious.
Republican?
It didn't matter. She was as long as she was down.
Boy, you
And
bad.
she was doing great, and I used to tease her. She'd get up and go to church every day. I said, "Don't worry, I'll be standing outside the church with my 3-piece suit on, collecting fallen women." Okay.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy. You worse than one of the chicken-eating preachers.
A Republican. I'm
Well,
worse
no,
than a
no.
Republican.
No, yeah, you are. Yeah, you would be below the Republican level.
Man. I can tell you, this health care bill, people happy because they couldn't get this through, but don't worry. It will get through. They never go home. They never go
But
home.
why are they
They're
wasting time? Help me understand that.
Because it drives the base. It keeps the base fired up.
Yeah, but do you think this is going to grow the base?
No, they don't care about growing the base. As long as they can keep that base fired up, as long as they can present you as the boogeyman, the enemy, the one who's going to take your whatever. This is what fear looks like. This is fear-mongering at its finest, propaganda at the worst. And that's what they do and how they survive. You hear about Democrats have to have something other than dislike of Trump. Well, how come it was never on the other side when they hated Obama?
Right.
Number one. And number two, every time you hear a host say that, you got to slap him in the face with the facts and the figures.
Yeah.
Over the last 50 years, 28 of the years, Republicans ran the show. And the balance sheet from back and forth is out of this world. Because
Absolutely.
it shows that Democrats have created more jobs. They have improved the GDP, all of the things that Republicans whine about. All of the things and no Democrat and no one from that side are able to articulate it. The promotion, the rise of the stock market,
Yeah.
all of that hangs in the balance. All of that has been on a juxtaposed to a Republican sheet of progress. The Republicans have stood for nothing.
Yeah.
And yet, what do the Democrats have to do? To get these people back to work. Well, how about bringing the jobs back from overseas and giving tax credits? Oh, they passed that bill. Republicans filibustered it. That's like Donald Trump Jr. talking about, that's all that went on in this meeting was adoption talk.
But see,
This coming from the same person who lied about
yeah.
there was no meeting.
Now there's an eighth person that has been identified. When it was
No,
only,
no.
3 or 4 in the original meeting?
Ain't no eighth person. That was Coolio. That was Coolio, and nobody know, man. Nobody know. It was Coolio in the room.
What was Coolio doing in the
I
room?
don't know who the fuck Coolio is. That's just,
There's a hip-hop artist by that name. You know that, right?
yeah, I saw his hair dude too. All right.
Okay.
I mean, that's what makes it. That's what makes it such a
Lord
such
have
a
mercy.
just outrageous, the stupidity that and the past that's given to Republicans and the right. You can say what you want about Democrats. They are the ones who are bartering with the rich to make their lives better, and you can get a little too. You can get some of the dribble, some of the trickle down. But Republicans are all in, both feet, They don't want a damn thing to do with poor people, people of color. Matter of fact, let's just take all of their health care away and put them back to square one before the black guy came in and took one of our health care plans and saved a lot of people's lives.
Well, I think that's exactly what they would like to do because they've been bought and paid for, by the insurance companies and other, pharmaceuticals and what have you. So yeah, I think they would love that, but they don't know how to craft that move without looking and exposing themselves as being bought and paid for. But we know that. We know that. At least people who are alert and paying attention know that. And there's a lot of people that just, buy into the headlines and believe the hype on Fox TV. Even Fox is beginning to change up a bit. They're not being, 100% embracing, Trump.
Fox isn't changing up.
Well, they're softening their picture. At least, what's his name? Shepard.
He's always been there.
Yeah.
He's always been there along with that other clown. I forget his name, but two outliers does not make redemption.
Well, that's true.
And this is what they look for. Have you seen Tucker Carlson and his spiel?
Yeah.
And his feigned indignation that somebody would call him a Nazi appeaser. After all of the things they say, they have the thinnest skin. Or they know when to turn on the victim faucet. You look what you said about me. When Hillary Clinton mentioned the deplorables, all of the deplorables got mad.
Yeah, they came out of the woodworks. They showed their ugly heads.
And what do they look like? They look like deplorables.
That's right.
All of the people, and look at where we are.
She didn't lie. She only told the truth.
No, she didn't. She didn't lie.
But we can't take that kind of criticism. Not we, but they.
We have no redress for illegality in this country. Not with Jeff Sessions as the Attorney General. And if one thing they should be running on is to get the House back and impeachment, period. And don't tell me they don't want to overreach. That's not overreaching. Just put all of this in a loop. How many Republicans have said there's nothing to see here? Repeated the witch hunt line, and it's getting closer and closer to the president's doorstep.
It's already in his room, man. It's already in the Oval Office. Because I still maintain this point. Ain't no way in hell Donald Trump Jr. did not notify his father. Ain't no way in hell did the son-in-law not notify his father-in-law. Ain't no way in hell the chairman of your campaign did not have a one-on-one conversation with you about the potential meeting beforehand. No way in hell did they not speak with him. And so at least one of them. I think the three of them had a meeting and said, look, okay, we need to get the approval from Donald. Who's going to tell him? Well, Junior probably, got his chest all pumped. So I'll talk to my dad. I'll fly down to Mar-a-Lago this weekend when he's playing golf, and we'll have a little discussion. I guarantee you, it had to happen. It had to. Ain't no way in hell that one of the three had to have had some kind of one-on-one conversation with him. Otherwise, if they did not, and it went awry, he would have had big egg on his face, and that's what he's claiming now. Oh, I knew nothing about that. Oh, you lying son of a gun. And there are three of them as well.
And the timeline will prove him to be a liar. But will the media care? No. Will his base care? No.
Well, I think the media
And
will
that- and-
care because they
No,
want
no, no.
they want to expose it.
Lee, at this point, they're just they're just a little annoyed. They're a little annoyed. When he called them the enemy of the people, it should have been flat out war with people who order ink by the barrel.
Well,
I
I
mean,
think we're seeing that, though. You don't think we're seeing the
No.
feathers have been ruffled by the media and they're going
No.
after him?
No, because if it were, they would be talking more about why the press conferences are off camera, and you just have a picture and a written statement. Is because they don't like to be seen to look like damn fools because they can't keep a straight face and lie like that.
Well, I think they're just rolling with it because they have no alternative, and I think that's regardless of whether they're seen on TV or not. I don't think that's a big deal, as long as they can have access to get their questions answered. Really, that's the bottom line. But you got to think back before there were televised press conferences with the president or the press secretary. We got the information, and we're getting it out as quick, if not quicker, than prior to that. So not seeing these ugly lying son of a guns, it really doesn't bother me. But what I would do if I was running a news media organization, CNN or Fox or any of them, I would just say, to hell with them. Don't go. Don't go. And if you got 2 or 3 major outlets that did that, guess what? That'll bring about the change. Because what are they telling us anyway? A bunch of lies. Do we need to repeat the lies? No. Because when you do that, you are playing into their game and doing exactly what they want you to do, to focus in on the lies and the bullshit, as opposed to the stuff they're doing in the back room behind the curtain like the Wizard of Oz. Pay attention to what Congress is passing and what they're not passing. That, my friend, I think is really the bottom line.
But I also think you have your news sources out there that are going after the White House. Case in point, I think the ones who's galvanizing is the Washington Post. Mm-hmm. I think they've been spot on since day one. Right, and we have repeats of history, what they did with Nixon. So I think they're galvanizing forward of looking at the presidency and getting information. Like some people said before, they're part of the government and they don't have access to information with the Washington Post and their resources are. So I think you get to pick your poison, so to speak, for those who are going after the presidency from the standpoint of trying to get legitimate information versus the one like a Fox or whatever these other outlets are giving the softball version of it. So I think it also gives a higher bar to the organizations, news, who want to go after that. So once again, like I said before, when you're 45 and you put it out there about this whole fake news thing, of course that's a deterrent. With Sean Spicer doing these non-video press conferences, that's a deterrent. Deterrent is to keep you at bay because, once again, like you said before, it's getting to his doorstep. It's getting closer and closer, and you can only have so many barricades. His son, Junior, is already falling on the sword, but how many do you sacrifice? Mm-hmm. It's going to get to a point where no matter how many sacrifices you have, no matter how many barriers you have, it'll come to an end, and it's going to be 45 right there, and he has to be accountable for what's going on.
Unless he stops the investigation. If he does that, then we should have all-out revolt against the White House, everybody in the country, because that would say to me, you're doing the mass cover-up now. You're just you're in a dictator mode. Let the truth come out one way or the other. If you have nothing to hide, you should not try to obstruct or stand in the way or overturn any decision as it relates to this investigation. It is necessary. And if it turns out that they did nothing wrong, then you have nothing to worry about. You should be able to go, Mr. President, Mr. President's family, and all your cronies, if you have nothing to hide, you should not be losing any sleep at night. If you have done nothing wrong, let the investigation go forward. If you have done nothing wrong, stop lying, because it's very clear that you are doing a cover-up. Now we found out there were, in fact, 8 people. 8! Is that all? Was it only 8? Now, 3 days from now, we're going to find out there was a 9th person. 4 days from now, we're going to find out the guy that brought the coffee in, he hung out. Yeah, I mean, really, when does it freaking end? So let the truth be told. And if you had a meeting and nothing came out of it, there was no harm, the only thing that you have to worry about is the fact that you took the freaking meeting. And whatever the consequences are surrounding that, then you got to deal with that. If there are none, then you're good. Plain and simple. So there you go. Let it lie. Let it roll. Don't try to stand in its way.
That's right.
If you got nothing to hide, if you do, then put up some resistance, and then we'll know. That's how that is. Plain and simple.
I'm still waiting on the first time he addresses the nation in the State of the Union for someone to stand there and go, "You illegitimate traitor."
No, nobody's going to do that.
Well, that's right. They haven't invited me, have they?
No. Now listen, we can hook that up on November 6, 2018. We can get you in that house. No.
I want his ass January 20th, 2018.
2020?
2018. That's when the next State of the Union address will be.
Yeah.
In front of the nation. By that time, hopefully there'll be a little more truth. I'm gonna tell you right now. Everybody looking at illegitimate, which he is, but they're gonna get their ass on the RICO and the money laundering. You watch.
Well, that'd be devastating.
It's gonna be the RICO Act and money laundering, which means they'll be able to take all of these shit as ill-gotten gains.
So he'll be homeless? He might be on the streets of Los Angeles?
No, not a chance.
I might have to pick him up at the airport on an Uber ride. What you telling me here? Explain it to me.
I'm telling you what they're going to get him for.
Well, if they take everything, he's going to be broke.
The thing they can't weasel out of is this paper trail.
Right.
For these banks.
They're
investigating 2 Illinois banks who have ties to Trump, who loaned Manafort 25% of their wealth, of their total wealth. Now, if they're not money laundering, something sure the hell smell like 8-day-old flounder.
No, not 8-day-old. Sitting in the sun?
Sitting in the sun on the dock.
Damn. That's so nasty the flies have left.
The flies are done.
Flies, I can't do it.
Can't do it. Oh, Lord, no.
You know, it's like the punchline to the joke. The skunk turns around and asks the monkey, "You had enough?" The monkey said, "No, I didn't have as much as I can stand." And the joke is, there was a monkey fucking a skunk.
I didn't see that one coming.
That's
boy.
That's the punch. Have you ever had somebody tell the punchline and then tell the joke?
Nope. No.
Oh, come on, y'all got to be kidding me.
No, you slid that one in, man.
You got to be kidding me. Y'all, you've never had.
You dropped the bomb and walked out of the room.
Slid it in just like that monkey did. He slid it in.
Right, that sure did.
You never had the.
No.
Now you may already know this joke, but the punchline is, there was a knock on the door. It was the pig and the cow. Okay, here's the joke.
Uh-oh.
Three men driving down a country highway, and it's getting dark. The car breaks down. No gas station, no nothing in sight. So they say, well, we saw a farmhouse back a little ways. The three men, East Indian, a Jew, and a Polak. They went and knocked on the door and requested refuge for overnight. The farmhouse, the farmer says, I only got room for two to sleep. The other one has to go in the barn. The Jew says, I will go in the barn and sleep. You two can take the quarters. A minute later, there was a knock on the door. It was the Jew. I cannot get in the barn. I cannot sleep in the barn. There's a pig in the barn. The pig is not kosher. The East Indian said, look. I will go and sleep in the barn. The East Indian went and sleep in the barn. A minute. There was a knock on the door. The East Indian said, there's a cow in the barn. The cow is so sick. The Polak said, okay, I'll go sleep in the damn barn. The Polak goes to sleep in the barn. The knock on the door, it was a pig and a cow.
You're wrong.
I know. You know.
Well, you made me clean off my mouse pad behind that one.
I didn't say I was politically correct on none of this.
Somebody told you that one, right? You didn't make that up.
No. I heard that.
That must have been one of those jokes from like 30 years ago.
That was a joke from the 70s.
Yeah, like I said. Yeah, because that one would not fly today.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, that
about the goat stuck in the fence.
He's got another one.
The goat stuck in the fence. Come on.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Now, ladies and gentlemen, here's a comedy routine from Alfo, live from Chicago.
Come on. This isn't a routine. These are just a few jokes that I've heard kicking around in the world, you know.
Uh-huh.
Italian man and a Polak walking down a long country road, a long picket fence, and up way in the front, they see something in the gate. And as closer they get, they see there's a goat with his head stuck in the gate. And the Italian guy and the Polak, they look at each other. And the Italian guy looks around to see if anybody's looking, and he drops his pen, gets behind the goat, and gets busy.
No.
And then when he finishes, he turns to the Polak and he says, okay, your turn. The Polak looks around to see if anybody's looking, and he sticks his head in the fence.
No. So I'm glad we can't see you or this as a visual, right? Because that was pretty vivid. I saw that one. Oh, that's terrible.
Terrible jokes, like they say. Father's Day, lots of confusion in the black community.
I just got a message from Anna Maria, who's an Italian and a Sicilian. She says, "Careful, Alfo, Sicilian watching." You have the mafia knocking at your door right about now. No, she's a sweetheart. She's a good lady. She's the only Italian in Mississippi. That's the only problem she's got.
Yeah, she's a very nice lady. Very sweet.
Yeah, we tried to get her out of the Mississippi area, but.
And see, none of these are originals. These are things that I've heard. You know, somebody said, I've heard. People are coming up to me and saying, millions of people have said. You know, all of that's, you know, applicable. I don't make this stuff up.
Yeah.
But I'm happy to retweet it.
Well, you know, listen, and a lot of those old jokes like that were, you know, not favorable to certain ethnic groups, if you will.
Really?
So... But if you can't laugh at yourself, then, you know, you're a miserable human being, I think.
Well, yes, exactly. And,
you know.
They're all jokes.
Yeah, exactly.
And
So-
we've come a long way. I would never, ever look upon Polish people any other way, but
Yeah.
with a high order of respect and a great deal of whatever.
Yeah. Or Italians or Jews or blacks or Indians.
Exactly. Black people,
Yeah.
the whole 9 yards. White folks, the whole 9 yards.
You know,
I'm an equal opportunity insulter.
let me
Now,
ask you
Papa.
guys a question. And I think I may have asked this question before, but I'm still struggling with it. I'm just going through a list of people that are my Facebook friends. And I'm running across several people who are no longer with us. Should I remove them or should I keep them in my list?
Yeah, well, Lee, let me answer it like this.
What do you do?
That's tantamount to, in pitch black, walking through a graveyard full of open graves and yard rakes. Okay.
Stupid. You're so stupid. Oh, why did I ask you? Because I should have expected something that didn't make sense.
And this big neon sign far in the distance saying, "Watch your step."
What? I mean, really, what do you do, Alpha? Do you keep them in your list? Because
all of the friends that I've lost through Facebook and the whole, I still had their phone numbers and
yeah,
their addresses, but I had to delete them. Because one thing I came to grips with, they ain't gonna answer. That's like a dog with no legs. You call him, he ain't coming. They're
yeah,
not gonna answer you. You can never find it again. You can never get in contact with that person again, and until you can,
Yeah. because
that means you did like them.
Yeah, I had a situation where a friend of mine passed away, and I didn't know, and I don't know how I missed it, because he was a recording artist, famous group, The Moments, Ray Goodman and Brown.
Yeah.
And Al Goodman had passed. And, I'm calling his house. And, I'm getting the same voice recorder that I've been hearing for years. And finally, his wife answered the phone. And I said, "Hey, how you doing?" She says, "Oh, I'm doing good, Lee. How you been?" I said, "I'm great." I said, "But I've been calling my buddy, and I can't get him to call me back." She goes, "You don't know, do you?" I said, "I don't know what." She says, "Al passed a year ago." And I felt like a flea. I went, "What? Are you kidding me?" She says, "No, Lee, he passed on." And I went, "Oh my God." So I'm struggling with, and I think I still have the phone number in my phone. And,
What you going to say now if you accidentally call it?
Yeah, right. Exactly. So what do you do? I mean, do you delete people from your
you take 'em
Facebook?
out.
Or, you do?
You delete them. Now, if you want to keep them in the phone book for the hereafter, fine. But there ain't no luggage on that limo, okay? On that hearse. There's no luggage rack on that hearse.
Damn, I just scrolled through it and I just saw another one. And these are my buddies, man. These are my real pals. I miss them. People like Jerry Bolding, Butterball, Alan Lott. I'm seeing these names, man. These are my dear friends. I love these guys. And all right, I guess I can't do it, man. I got it. That means I got to keep them around.
Chris, what do you do with yours?
I keep mine. And that's just for memory's sake, memorial type of thing. When I come across it, I just sit back and just, the times we've had and the honor of knowing that person and things like that. And even with the Facebook pages, I'll never get rid of that. That's a hard thing to let go. With me personally, with my wife, I had to let go of the phone number. I let go of the phone number. That took like a good year and a half before I let go of that. But I did happen to save a message exchange we had 2 years prior. So that I keep. So it's very selective, but yeah, I mean, I was still going to keep it.
Yeah. Crazy story I have with Jerry Boulding. I called Jerry. No. Jerry called me. He pocket dialed me, and and I'm going, hello, hey Jerry, what's up? And he didn't respond. In the background, I could hear, like, it sounded like he was at a dinner or something like that. I could hear other people talking in the distance, and he was answering them, and I could hear the silverware clinking on the plates and what have you. And I kept answering him. I said, Jerry, what's up, man? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? And he never responded. So I hung up, and I called him back, and he didn't answer. And like a week or two later, he died. So that memory, that situation is stuck in my mind, And I was going, wow, how do you interpret that? Some people interpret situations. And so I never had a chance to say goodbye or, that conversation to me is just incomplete.
Well, you didn't call him to say goodbye.
No, I didn't. But we hadn't spoken in a while, and every now and then he would call me or I would call him, and we would just have some radio talk,
Right.
And I'm missing that.
Hey,
I told you that. Yeah, I was saying that was similar to the last time I spoke to Ty Wansley, and him and I had spoken like maybe 2 or 3 years at this point, and his house number was disconnected, but his work number at WGCI and now iHeartRadio was at Clear Channel was still operable. But every time I called the office number, it was always full. The voicemail was always full. So one day I just figured, okay, well, the hell of it, I'll give another shot, and Ty picks up. And I was so glad to hear his voice again because he had no idea that Vicky passed or I went through my other stuff in my life, and I wanted to catch up and let him know what was going on in my life and vice versa.
Right.
And that was the last conversation I had. He was always busy,
Yeah.
So I said, dude, I know you're busy.
Yeah.
Take my number down. I got to call you like tonight because we got to get caught up. And it wasn't long after that he unfortunately had passed away.
Yeah. The older you get, the more I think you become aware of life.
Sentiment.
And yeah, exactly. So one of my old friends called, I always make a special, if I can't take the call at that moment, I try real hard to get back to him as soon as possible because you never know, man. You never know. You may not have that chance to say hello one more time.
That's right.
Yep. And, Ty and I go all the way back to St. Louis back in 1973 when I first met him. And he was a great guy, man. I cannot believe Ty is no longer with us. And we were about to do some business together. Boy, this guy. Apollo, you need to stop. I know you're listening. You just, he's like one of those guys who, when you're on the air and he's standing outside of the studio looking at you through the window and doing all kind of things to distract you. That's him. There's a little mischievous kid in the classroom that does stuff to mess you up. That's him. That's Apollo. I just figured that out. But anyway, okay. I don't want to, bring the show to a funeral home, but
No, don't do that. No.
I told you. Hey, other Carol, how are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. It took me a little bit. I finally got here, but I'm good. How are you doing?
I never thought I'd hear your voice today.
I'm here. Yeah. I don't want to be here, but I'm here.
You don't want to be here?
No.
Why not? What's your
Well,
problem?
'cause, I'm doing this. I walk every morning, around the beach and everything. I'm starting to feel pains.
Are you walking too fast or too long?
I don't know. I'm just old.
Well, you might want to slow down and maybe walk every other day.
My knees hurt.
Yeah. There's a special lower level in hell for both of you. Okay.
Well, other Carol, have you been to the doctor lately and get it checked
No, I
out?
could examine myself. I check my
Well,
knees
but see,
out.
but you're not a doctor. You can't do that. You can't rely on your
I
own.
can't afford it.
Okay, we'll do a GoFundMe so we can get your health care straightened
No,
out.
no,
Because
no. Don't go for me and don't touch me. No.
Well, we're not going to touch you. The doctor will have to examine you, but I'm not
I
going to
want the
touch you.
doctor to touch me. I don't want that to happen. No.
Well, you know what, other Carol, you just have to live with the pain in the knee. I can't do nothing to help you. You gotta come to grips with that.
Where I live at, we had the swimming pool.
Yeah.
In the swimming pool, there's an old woman, and she's already wrinkled to begin with. And she gets in the pool and stays underneath.
She's older than you?
Well, yeah, she's old.
Okay.
She's really old. And she gets in the pool and stays underneath and then scares children while they're trying to swim. That's not right.
Well, have you had a conversation with her about that?
I did. I told her, look, stop pretending like you're the creature from the Black Lagoon and leave these children alone. Instead, she's wrinkled when she gets out of the pool, but she's wrinkled before she gets in. So just double wrinkles and she's wet.
Oh, yeah, that's
it makes me sick.
yeah. I can see what you're saying. That's pretty bad.
No, really, it's an old, wrinkled, old-ass woman is sick.
That's pretty pathetic. Apollo is here. Hey, Apollo, what's up?
I got a text message from Carol number 1, and she said she's being hemmed up in R. Kelly's house in Atlanta. And he just got through peeing on her.
Apollo, you ain't shit, okay?
And she said that girl that did that video for TMZ was at gunpoint when she did it.
Oh, she's got some inside dope, huh?
Yeah. But she said he gonna let her go because she's too old for him. Yeah.
Oh, Lord, at 11:44, the bomb gets dropped.
Yeah. The Pied Piper. You know, who was the Pied Piper, Lee? Wasn't that a guy who led children away with music?
Well, I don't know if it was children, but yeah, he led people away with his little
Yeah,
horn.
it was mice.
Mice?
Was it mice?
It was mice.
I don't know. Those
His character legend.
I'm too
Lords
old to
of
remember.
Germany. I want to see here. Legend. They dated back.
No, there were no mice back then. They were all rats.
Yeah. Oh, he's a rat catcher. He lured rats away.
He was a early world history exterminator.
The Pied Piper leads the children out of Hamlin.
That's right.
It shows that he also led children out with his music. And you know, R. Kelly calls himself the Pied Piper of R&B. That's an interesting parallel there.
It is. Kind of scary.
Yeah, like a little innuendo there.
Sure is.
The Pied Piper.
So let me ask you, I don't know if you've been listening, when you have people that have been following you on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or whatever, and they've passed on, do you keep them in your list?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's kind of like deleting them. Sometimes I have one buddy who I sent Facebook a message saying this guy died. Here's a link to his obituary. You should probably take his page down. Because I've got one buddy that died in 2014, and I'm so tired of people posting things on this like, hey, bro, I miss you. I doubt he's got a Facebook account wherever he's at. And
yeah,
so,
see, that's the thing.
It turns into a memorial wall, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but it's almost weird to
Yeah.
I don't know. I've got mixed opinions on that.
Yeah, I was just
So-
going through, my friends list, and I was trying to invite people to another page, and I'm running across these names, and I'm going, damn.
So, Lee, do you want, if I die before you, will you tell Facebook to delete my profile, please?
No, I'm not going to do that.
Will you delete me off your friends list if I die?
That's what I'm struggling with. I don't know. I've got people.
It
who have
gives
been
you a
dead.
false sense. You're almost playing God. Like, he's gone, I'm going to delete him now. I am cyber God.
Well, if I didn't like you, I probably wouldn't. Have
That's
a
why
problem
we're
with
not on my. That's why I'm not your friend currently. I went to try to find your profile. It said the user does not exist.
it. Are you serious?
No, I was aggravating you.
I was going to say.
I have blocked a few people though.
I've never done that. Well, one person that was.
Oh, I got a bunch of people blocked.
I got a guy that was hitting on me, and I said, "Look, dude,
Jesus.
I don't roll."
Lord, gee, Lee baby, come on, Lee baby.
Yeah, I mean this guy
Come on,
You on the
baby.
baby part.
No.
Come here, baby.
like that. No,
Leave.
The
no.
return of the swallows.
So
The return of the Mac.
I hit him back. I said, "Yo, man, I don't roll like that." He goes, "Well, I do." I said, "Well, you roll on, bro." And
Well, God bless you. I would have
Yeah.
said, "Look, man, I'm flattered that you have,
keep on rolling. Not
I had a
here.
guy one time tell me, "Hey, nice." We were in a club. We were standing in the bathroom pissing. He said, "Nice." I'm like, "Yeah, it's a good crowd." He's like, "No, I'm not talking about that." And I'm like, "Oh, dude, come on now, for real." I mean, my wife's waiting for me at the bar, and she does not have a penis. So, but he was looking at my penis, telling me,
Wow.
"Nice."
That's,
I'm like,
that's
yo,
creepy.
bro. I mean, thank you, I guess. I don't know what to say about that.
I'd have
I mean, I
pissed on it.
appreciate that, but yeah, and saying, "Your body's calling for me."
That's where I met Walter Cronkite in the men's room in New Orleans at the airport.
Really?
Yeah, I looked
What'd
over.
he say when he got through pissing? And that's the way I piss.
I struck up a conversation with him because I knew he was a yachtsman, and so we started talking about boats. And he informed me that he had just sold his favorite sailboat, and he was waiting for the new one to come in, but he wasn't sure that he had made the right decision.
Mm-hmm.
So we went over and washed our hands. We were walking out, and we're still chatting. And then my wife at the time was standing in the airport, hallway there, waiting for me to come out. And she immediately recognized who he was, and she says, "You know who you're talking to?" I said, "Yes, my old friend Walter. What are you talking about?" He said, "You know Walter Cronkite?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "I'm in the
Well,
media
you made
business.
more
So is
money
he."
than you made more than him too, right?
Oh, I don't know about that.
Because he only made $850,000 a year when he was working at CBS.
Really? Damn.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess I did.
He probably had a resentment against you.
No, he was a yachtsman. We were cool, man. He was a real nice guy.
When I was a kid, I used to think Captain Kangaroo was Walter Cronkite with a wig on. I don't know why.
They
When I
did.
was in-
Well, they
I used
kind of
to-
resembled each other. You're right. I
Yeah.
think that's not unfair.
I mean, I'm like, that's Walter Cronkite. No, that's Captain Kangaroo. I'm like, he's got a costume on,
Yep, exactly.
smoking cigarettes and watching Captain Kangaroo.
Exactly.
What song was that? Who did that?
Counting flowers on
Smoking
the wall.
cigarettes and watching Captain Kangaroo.
Kangaroo, now
Who was
don't
that?
tell me.
yeah,
that was the
one of-
Statlin Brothers.
Yeah, it was one of the gimmick songs.
Was it?
The Statlin
How
Brothers. Check it
the
out.
hell do you know this, Chris?
Because I like music.
That
That's
is
why.
the Statler brothers.
There you go.
Chris is a geek.
He knows
Yeah.
more about white music than I do. That just amazes me. He'd be like, "Oh, I know that was David Allan Coe. I didn't know that."
But you know why I like that? I like that song in particular because it was in Pulp Fiction.
Oh yeah, okay.
It
Yeah.
was, yeah. You're right.
Yes,
I
it
forgot
was.
about that. Wow.
Alpha, what's going on today, brother? Oh, he's got the mute
Right
button.
there.
I heard
Yeah.
a bunch of kids in the background. I
Yes, it's great.
thought he was
grandson.
doing a live remote from R. Kelly's house there for a minute.
Not much, Apollo. I was trying to hold down the obscene and ridiculous while you weren't here, but then you came.
Yeah, well, I heard you getting short of breath. I figured I need to let you pass the torch and
Well, I'll get short of breath all the time. Matter of fact, I'm sitting on my oxygen cord, okay?
That's not a good thing, brother.
It's not, especially if I need it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I can't reach back there to dig in my butt, let alone get the oxygen.
What you digging for?
They say you itch, you scratch.
My ass ain't itched in a while. You might need to clean up in there.
I've seen.
Put some Gold Bond powder in your drawers.
I've seen them operate.
Gold Bond.
I've seen the females operate at the Itchy Kitty. You know.
With the proven itch fighter of zinc oxide, Gold Bond medicated powder really does work. Just ask Alfo of Chicago, Illinois.
Okay.
It feels great.
My itch is
Gold
gone.
Bond medicated powder. Use only as directed. I mean, what the hell? How can you overuse powder? What the hell? Why would they tag that? Use only as directed.
Well, because talcum powder can cause cancer.
Hang on, gentlemen. I got a call. I'll be black. Hold on.
Yeah, that's what Elder Carroll said yesterday about talcum powder.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, that's why so many of these lawyers are advertising. Come sue these motherfuckers.
Yeah. I just got a text message from my boss. My daughter.
Who?
My daughter.
Oh, okay.
That's my boss. She told me I need to tell my friends to go to help fund her GoFundMe. They're trying to raise, $1,500 to go to the Junior Olympics. I got two granddaughters, her daughters, who are 16 and 9. The 9-year-old is going for the second year. The 16-year-old is going, 8th year, 9th year? So they got to GoFundMe. Evidently, the trip to Detroit is very expensive. The hotels are like $175 a night, the cheapest.
In Detroit?
Yeah. So she asked me to remind all my friends, so I'm being a good daddy, to ask all of you to, I think I have it, I have it listed on my Facebook page. So go to my Facebook page if you're not there already and click on the link that talks about the trip to Detroit. I got two granddaughters going there to participate in the Junior Olympics. The 800 meter,
That's
the
huge.
400 meter, and the 4x4.
I know you're more than a proud grandfather. That's great, man.
Oh, yeah. That's why I'm driving late at night to send as much money as I can to get those girls there. So, y'all, there you go. That's what you got to do. Help me out. Help me help them. And when you're in need, I'll be there for you as well. That's what I was talking about yesterday, man. When I see any of my colleagues, people I've worked with over the years, and they write a book or doing something, I'm going to be there for them, and try to support them in any way, even if your book is negative towards me. Paul Porter.
You're still gonna support him?
Absolutely. He took the time to put my name in his book, then I'm going to support him. And even if you didn't, I'm still going to support you because that's what we need to do. We need to support each other. So, Alpha, before you eat your next cheeseburger, write that damn book so I can buy it.
You late. You are late.
And Apollo, you need to write one on production.
Well, I did more than production. If I just wrote on production, it'd be boring as hell.
No, it wouldn't. If you did a how-to book.
Nah, there's so many of those. I ain't going to give away all my secrets till I'm about to die.
Well, then
I'm going to sell them to somebody to pay for my funeral.
Okay. Well,
so somebody just called me. They were so pissed because you remember Nate Quick, Lee Michaels?
Yes.
So Nate passed away a few years ago, but
he
he worked in Charlotte for 15 years. Then he went to Dallas. Before that, he was in Atlanta. So the music director in Charlotte just posted a picture of him rolling a file cabinet into the elevator. And it says, "This is the infamous Nate Quick music cabinet, and it's finally escorted out of my office. It's been transported from Concord to Charlotte to the new studios 17 years ago, and now to the dumpster." A lot of memories looking at this cabinet, but it's got all these great vintage stickers like Wu-Tang, NWA, Tupac. I mean, it's a beautiful. And so this person called me like, "Can you believe that he put it in the dumpster?" I'm like, "No, I would have loved to have had that just because Nate was a good friend of mine."
Why didn't
so I wrote,
auctioned it off to all of us radio guys that would love to have
a
piece like that,
that's right,
and give the money to his family.
Let me have it. Or send it to the Levine Museum of the South in downtown Charlotte, but not the dumpster, for God's sake.
Yeah.
You know?
Again,
you got a picture of them rolling it into the elevator.
The only people that are left in radio right now are the non-creative thinkers. That would have been a no-brainer for me.
That was a music cabinet they kept CDs and records in. It's got the big drawers. So you can put 12-inch singles in it.
Of course.
And, but I know some mixers that probably would love to have that cabinet just to store vinyl in.
Absolutely.
But throwing it in the dumpster? Shocking. Anyway, I'm sorry.
Well, that's because they have no vision, no
class.
No class.
Damn shame.
Yeah. Totally.
Well, fellas, the time has come for us to say goodbye.
Why are you going to try to end the damn show? Because you got something to do?
I'm not trying to end the show. I'm about to hang up and I'm saying goodbye.
There's your goodbye music. How's that?
If your heart can believe and your mind can conceive.
I'm pretty partial to Gypsy Man.
Gypsy Man by war?
By war. They call me the Gypsy Man.
I call you Wimpy, the burger man.
That's right.
He ain't got no song. One thing I know about Wimpy is Jack in the Box, Ronald McDonald, and the Burger King got him up in the alley with their fist balled up and say, "It's Tuesday, motherfucker."
Yeah, it is. Absolutely, it's Tuesday. That's a great way to go out.
That sounds like a nothing burger to me.
Kelly and Conway eats them muffin burgers.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Good for her.
All right, y'all. Glad I caught y'all.
Yeah.
Holla.
Thanks for coming in.
Take care.
Peace out.
Lee,
Peace,
y'all
Mike.
take care.
All right, Kat.
Take care.
Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching The Lee Michaels Show here on thepowervoices.com. We do it live, 10 a.m. to noon, Monday through Thursday, and on Friday we do a podcast. So tell all your friends, share the broadcast, spread the word, download the app. It's available for Apple and Android. Thank you so much. Have a safe day. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll see you again on the radio.